What are you doing?
Just a minute.
Is that all this thing does? It just say ham?
No. What? Listen.
Okay.
This, you guys told me I have to catch up to technology.
I'm disturbed by that last one.
It's technology. It's an app.
That's an app on your phone. What, it just does voices? It says ham?
It just says ham. And I play it when I get mad at the baseball games, my son's baseball games, I hit that out loud.
That's amazing.
And then it annoys all the parents. That's meant to be in technology. That's why people are ham.
I love that. If you go to the Astros, you got to do the garbage can. Does it have a garbage can on it?
No. What does that do?
You know, like the Astros, Houston Astros with the garbage can.
We don't talk about the Houston Astros in my house now.
Yeah, they're dead to me.
They're done.
It's bad.
I don't even know. Now I'm so upset about the Houston Astros. I don't know where to go.
Well, we do have to welcome everybody listening.
So that's not. We're looking. So we're just looking for a new entrance. That's not it.
That might not be it.
Okay.
I was more of a fan of your ladies and gentlemen.
But see, I appreciated how you said it this week. Last week, your wife just totally thumbs down me, and she tried to do her own. See, this time you said, I just don't think that's it. Yeah. So now I feel like I can go look for more stuff.
See, there we go. See, it's positive reinforcement on this show.
That's all we need around here.
Unlike Jimmy, who's done another vanishing act on us.
Which is more positive reinforcement.
That's right.
I don't know. He's a hell of a magician. Is he a magician?
I think his thing is, if he doesn't have anything nice to say, he disappears.
Because he's a little unruly, right?
Yeah. He's no good, that one.
Yeah, that's a little bit of negativity.
Well, everybody...
So wait a minute. Does this have to... Let's just start this right away.
Okay, yeah.
So he has a year contract.
Magic
through wrestling.
He signed a year.
Let's say he signed a year.
About 12 months, yeah.
So out of the 12 months, he's already missed like 8 weeks. And it's only March.
Yeah, I mean, his track record's terrible.
So he's probably shopping around for different podcasts right now. But at the end of the 12 months, he's going to owe us all these weeks before we let him go. This is wrestling rules.
Exactly, okay. That's it. He owes us the weeks after.
Okay, as long as you and I are
Yeah, and he has a no-compete either.
Well, he can't.
6 months after. No, he can't.
Apparently he can't compete. He can't stay healthy.
I think he got really mad about the Lambamba thing that we did where we just knocked it. Or maybe it was just me. And he hasn't really been on since.
I forgot all about that. That's how important that was. That La Bamba thing.
He asked me to watch it.
You got hurt feelings?
Yeah, he asked me to watch it.
Did you watch it?
No, I keep forgetting. It's like that low on my list.
The guy gets on a plane. The guy dies. He goes famous for 3 songs. Moving on.
And then another guy goes and writes a song about him.
Yeah. And
American Pie.
Yeah, he makes millions of dollars.
Yeah. Don McLean.
Move on. Has nothing to do. He's an Italian.
There he is.
The other guy's Mexican.
I know. He's holding a grudge for no reason.
He doesn't even look like Richie Valens.
He doesn't. Well, everybody, welcome to Magic Through Wrestling. Mine is Jimmy. In fact, I want to rename the show to just Wrestling. Wrestling.
Just stuff.
Stuff
with Bill and Maury.
Yeah, let's name it Get the Magic Out. As we just dig at Jimmy.
Okay, from this episode on, get the magic.
Get the magic out. There will be no more magic on this show.
The magic is over.
The magic is gone, baby.
The honeymoon is over.
That's right.
Even if he comes back, it's stuff and wrestling.
Yeah, and I figured out how to mute him, so we can just mute his
shit.
But he
magic out. That might have been my whole life.
Yeah, I want to get my wife. She could do shirts for us. And get the magic
we
out.
Wear them and not tell them what they mean?
No. We'll actually give him one to wear thinking he'll think it's cool because he'll be like us.
Because it's a free shirt.
Yeah. He loves novelty tees. And La Bamba. That's like the 2 things that keep him.
You think it was the La Bamba thing?
It was either the La Bamba thing or he did a card trick and I didn't know he was doing it to me and I kind of looked away. Well, I was actually getting everybody refreshments.
No, let's be honest. He did a great card trick. And then tapped in some jabroni to do the voiceover, who is literally pissed at everybody's ice cream. And now we're not only talking to the jabroni who makes the voiceovers, we're even talking to the magician. Can I get the magic out?
Can I rant first? Jimmy is he's no longer allowed on this show after this voiceover.
Because of the jabroni guy.
The jabroni guy calls me every single day, twice a day, texts me, and then calls me some more. And I took your advice. I said, hey, I know you want me to help you with film stuff because I do filming, but Jimmy actually has this great idea. and he's going to be a part of it. So get with him, and whenever you guys need a camera guy,
Right.
I'll just bring the camera. Well, then Jimmy started dodging this guy, and now he's back on to me.
So Jimmy no-sells the phone calls, which puts the guy back on you.
Yeah.
Which now Jimmy's ducking the jabroni voiceover guy and not showing up for his own podcast.
Yeah. He's no-show Jimmy.
No-show Jimmy.
That's a good one.
Hashtag no-show Jimmy.
Hashtag no-show Jimmy
There
tonight,
it is.
everybody.
I hope he's listening.
I hope he's
Do you
listening.
think he's listened to one episode since he's gone?
I don't think so. I think maybe his wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever she is.
Significant
other. And I hope she listens.
You think she listens and then tells me you should listen to that? You better listen to that.
I think she tells him and then says he can't come back because Bill's such a bad influence on
I am
him.
a bad influence, though. But I mean it in a good way.
You do. By the way, I love the Mickey's Gym shirt you have on.
Oh.
Big Rocky fan?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of any shirt that fits. That's how we judge that day. What are you putting on? I think that fits.
I'm in between sizes now.
I'm never going to be a schmedium.
I don't think I ever will be either.
I didn't find out what that was.
I hear it, but I know that I can never obtain.
No, it's just a schmedium.
Yeah.
So
people have accused me.
I really like this. No, I'm stuck on it because I feel like this whole. I see a whole commercial. No show Jimmy. Hashtag no show Jimmy.
I love that.
I feel like there's music in there and stuff.
Have you ever been to an event? Like, have you ever like wrestled or like somebody just no showed? I mean, obviously we have like Chris Benoit and stuff, but more like they just didn't show up.
So here's the fun. Just a quick. Hopefully it's quick. Leapin' Lenny Paffa, who got his name, WWF at the time, and Randy Savage's brother, and Lenny was a good acrobat, and he moved really well. He was a smooth kind of wrestler. He knew his stuff. He was very smooth. He wasn't a real physical guy, but he had this little switch to him, and he'd get a little, he can get a little, out there. Well, he was under contract in WCW for like a year, and no one ever saw him.
Oh, wow.
And then we were in Tampa, where he lives, and he showed up at the show in shorts and flip-flops, and I said, "Where's your gear?" And he goes, "My gear? I haven't done anything in a year."
But he was under contract.
You're working tonight. We're in your hometown. He goes, "I haven't worked in a year. Why would I bring my gear now?"
That's amazing.
So for the rest of us, we're sitting there going, "What do you mean he's been under contract for a year? Nobody's ever seen him. We didn't see him at a TV taping at a house show. Nothing."
That's amazing.
So Vampiro at the time was under contract for a year before anybody saw him, and all these guys that you find out they were getting paid to stay home.
Wow.
And now in my smarter years, I'm like, Jesus, why didn't I get that?
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of guys who no-showed. I mean, you knew the guys who had. I didn't know you could make a contract where you only worked 45 days a year.
Yes, back then it was you work when there's work to be done.
But then there was guys who had contracts that worked 52 days a year, which means they worked once a week. But if they worked a pay-per-view, they were off. They didn't work live events. That meant they only worked one TV.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there going, all this stuff was so fascinating. But yeah, there were guys that you didn't see forever. The way that company's been paying me for a year. What? But the guy shows up, he's booked, and comes without his gear because he's been doing it for so long he doesn't know any better.
That's crazy. Wow, you gotta love that.
So it's not just not podcasting. It's just not Jimmy Rook. It's everywhere.
Yes, everybody's on the no show.
Everybody's on the tape now.
Of course, I had an instance where I wish somebody didn't show. You ever have one of those? I had. This guy actually resurfaced in my life. So this is the craziest story that's ever happened to me, and I'm going to tell it because it goes in with the no-show thing. Although I wish he did. So there's back where I'm from is like a small farm town, and me and my buddies walked from my one buddy's house, there were three of us, into like the local gas station. It was like a Kogo's. It wasn't like a BP. It was like a tiny store, but it was like smaller than my living room. It was really small. Like you could be over at the drink cooler, and like not too far from you is actually going to be the register. So
the fact you said drink cooler means it's small.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So we're looking and we're like, what are we going to get? It was actually, I know it was a Sunday because it was a wrestling pay-per-view, so we were like loading up on snacks. You know, we had the pizza coming, but we went to go to the gas station because that's where you went. You didn't go to Walmart. You just went to the gas station to get stuff. So we go to this gas station we always go to, but we went more in the evening time, which we never really went. And there's this big, like 6'4" dude, kind of heavy with red curly springy hair and like a tight red beard. And he's just scowling. But we're like, he just probably hates people. You know, he just works at the gas station. So all of a sudden we hear this loud boom while we're looking for stuff. And first we look at each other. We don't even look at the loud boom. We look at each other like, you know, is it safe to look? Like, what do we do? And we look over, the guy's just like losing it. He punches a hole in the wall. So we're like, should we just put everything down, or should we, like, what do we do? You know, at this point, what do you do? Like, should we just leave? I kind of wanted this stuff. So we decided, you know what? We'll just keep pretending to look. We'll hold the stuff in our hand, and, you know. And he goes, hey, you three. We're the only three in the store. We're pretty much the only three that could fit. It was a really small one. He goes, come up here. And we're like, oh, my God, this guy's going to, like, kick all of our asses. And he goes, I've seen you guys before, so you guys live around here, right? And we're like, yeah, it's a small town. And he goes, all right. And he pulls out his wallet, and he goes, I need a favor. And if you don't come, let me go. He's like, I need a favor. And we're like, okay. He pulls out his wallet. He pulls out a card. He goes, I need you to run to Walmart. And that radio I just destroyed, I need you to go give me the exact model. And he's like, if you don't come back with my card, he's like, I don't have to worry about coming back to work because I'm going to drive the streets every day until I find you and murder you. And I'm like, I've never seen this guy. Like, maybe in passing, but not really noticing it. And me and my buddies look at each other like, and one was my best man at my wedding, the crazy guy.
Right.
And of course, he's first. We're like, yeah, we'll do it. Sure, we'll be right back. So we get to take a picture of this destroyed radio, and we go, and he's like, it should be $49.99. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, did it fall? He goes, no. He's like, I hate the guy that works before me, and I destroyed it, but I need to listen to opera tonight. And if I don't listen to opera, I might kill him whenever he comes to relieve me tomorrow morning. So it's very important you get me a radio that I could listen to my opera.
Jeez.
I'm terrified. So we go. They don't have it. But they have one for $49.99. So we get it. We bring it back. First thing he says, he goes, this isn't the right one. And we're like, but it's $49.99. Here's the receipt. In fact, we didn't even use your card. We used our card. It's a gift. Enjoy. And he goes, well, no, I got to pay you for it. He goes, can you guys watch the store while I run out to the ATM? We're like, sure. He's like, I trust you guys. So if somebody comes, just ring them up. Thank God nobody came. So one guy came in asking for directions, and we helped him. But I'm like, there was an ATM right there. And whenever he came back, I said, why don't you just go to the ATM right outside the store? He goes, because it charges $3.50 and my bank's right down the road. I was like, dude, you didn't have to do that. So he gives us $50. And I said, so, you know, what was up with that guy? And he goes, well, he doesn't do anything. He goes, in fact, he's like, if you ever want to know his name, he's like, it's very easy to remember. His name is Will. So just think of it as he will not do anything. And he starts going into all these wills. Like, he will not stock the Coke. He will not do this, right? And he goes through a list of about 12 things. And we're like trying not to laugh, but we can't help it. And then he cuts off because it's not funny. I'm like, yes, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry. So we go with the intent of never seeing this guy again. And then I had posted on Facebook, Applebee's was running this really cool thing where we lived, a trivia thing. And it was like, you could win like $1,000 off of their trivia. It was every Thursday night, and if you accumulated so many points with your team up to like 5 people, right, your team goes to this regional thing. It was really cool. So the one day I'm walking down the street, and he goes, hey, you. And I saw him, and I'm like, oh my God, he goes, do you want to see something really cool? And I'm like, yes. I'm shaking my head no, but I'm like, sure. And he takes me up to his apartment. I'm terrified. God. He has, I don't know, maybe like 50 or so or more orange milk crates, and they all have books in them. And he just like goes into all this stuff. So he's highly intelligent, right? So I make the mistake of saying, hey, there's this trivia thing. We can win some money.
Oh, you deserve it now.
And he goes, I tell you, I'm not very good with people. I said, oh, you'll do fine. His name was Scott. I said, Scott, you'll do fine. So he comes out with this, right?
Okay, wait a minute. He tries to get out of it, and you keep telling him to get involved.
I saw money at that time.
Oh, my God.
So I take him, and everything's going kind of good. Like, he's not very cordial or nice with the waiters. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm just too nice. And the first round goes, and I'll never forget. It was name 17 different exotic German cars. And I'm like, me and my other buddy, who's actually a history professor, he's highly intelligent. We look at each other like, he's like, guys, shut up. And we didn't even say anything. He goes, I got this. He has it done in like record time, right? So we turn it in, and the guy's reading off the results, but he's reading off like, and I don't know German cars, but nothing sounded German he was saying. Well, he's reading the wrong like key,
Right.
the answer key, but he didn't know it. And Scott gets up, takes his plastic cup of water, throws it across the room. And he goes, listen, mother effer. He goes, that's wrong. I know what those answers are. Quit cheating us. And the guy goes, the guy's mortified, right? He's like, oh, he's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm reading from the wrong answer key. He gets in his face and tries to fight him. So they kick us out. We get expelled from this whole thing. That was the time I wish the guy no-showed on me. Isn't that crazy?
Story?
I mean, it's kind of a story. I saw him a couple more times.
Really?
One time I saw him in a Sunoco because he got fired and he went to a different gas station. And I guess he got a call from like somebody who's watching the security cameras thinking that we were trying to rob him. And he gave him like a secret code. And then after he got off, he goes, yeah, I had to give him a secret code because they thought you were going to hurt us or you were here to rob me. But what they don't know is I actually have a gun and I would have killed you instantly if I thought you were trying to rob me.
So this highly intelligent guy.
Yeah, he makes his supplemental income off of crossword puzzles.
Works at gas stations and doesn't like people.
Hates people.
Actually tried to get away from joining your team. You said, no, come with me. It'll be great.
Yeah, we'll have a great old time.
He attacks the manager, and now you're wondering why he shows up in your life when he does. I really hope that he shows up in Florida.
I would move from Florida.
It
would be no-show Maury at that point. Because wherever this guy is, I don't want to be. He sent me a Facebook message and said, hey, I despise Facebook, but I happen to see you on here. How are you doing?
So this is Seinfeld, and he's Joe Davola.
Yeah, he's Crazy Joe Davola.
Crazy Joe Davola.
I didn't get kicked in the helmet, though.
Jeez,
like Kramer.
Crazy Joe Davola. And that makes Jimmy Newman.
Yeah, Jimmy
because you only see Newman in so many episodes.
That's right, yeah. He only comes in whenever he has a defective police radar detector.
Or when he needs to,
Or whenever he needs to, remember, I just watched the episode the other day where he tried to get out of a speeding ticket by having Kramer
when he went to court?
Yeah, Kramer saying he wanted to be a banker and he was going to kill himself because he couldn't be a banker.
Just pay the ticket.
I love Seinfeld.
Lazy hates Seinfeld. It's the worst,
really?
worst thing ever. But she has no humor. You better.
I'm not saying that.
She has no humor.
I think she's wonderful.
She has no
God
humor.
bless her.
This is what my wife will watch on TV. Now, my wife, very easy, soft-spoken most of the time, at least in public.
In at church.
Intelligent. She's the mayor. She runs her. I don't know. You say beautician, cosmetologist. She cuts hair. She does that. So she's the mayor. She knows everybody. Everybody knows her. What do I come home to? Dr. Pimple Popper.
She watches that?
She's fascinated by this.
How can anybody watch that?
Not only that, she watches it with Casey. And then she goes, Butch, you got to come in here and see this. And my son hides in the corner and watches certain parts of it. And I go, the three of you are the most disgusting people. So I go in the other room.
Yeah.
I watch. She goes, well, what are you doing? I said, this is why we have 8 TVs. Because I can't watch this crap. So then I come in the other night because they know I don't like to watch it. I came home from something and they're watching. Now the new one is Foot Doctor. And this chick has 6 toes. She has 6 toes on both feet. And then she talks about her brother who has 6 toes. And they're talking about how they're going to take the 6th toe off and all this stuff. I'm going to throw up right now.
I don't want to see 6 toes on Marilyn Monroe, let alone some rando.
They take off their socks and, you got to be a foot person to want to see that anyway. So I think people's feet are gross anyway.
Yeah, you said you never take off your shoes.
My feet never see the sun. I made a living with my feet, right? I never got sunburned on my feet. I could put my boots on. So I just from my ankles up, tan. Ankles
Always
down,
cut.
white feet. But now that's So when I'm not paying attention, or if I'm in the other room, Dr. Pimple Popper, and now the foot thing.
That's disgusting.
She's fascinated by this Dr. Pimple Popper, and you know as well as I do. You're with. We're together 20 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you're like, oh, put your head in my lap, and then all of a sudden she starts like picking at me, trying to pick something.
Yeah.
Get the hell away from me. Watching TV, she's probably got tools and knives and
you know it.
little things where she can dig in and cut things out. And
Getting examples for
they love it. They're fast, and they sit there and they eat a snack while they're watching it.
They can eat?
What the hell is wrong with these people?
I wouldn't be able to eat for weeks if I watched that.
I'm gonna throw up just talking about it. We went from Seinfeld to Dr. Pimple Popper.
And now my cats are fighting each other.
The cat just got sick and fell
Can
down.
somebody please take these cats off my hands?
You have. It's like that's the magic part of the show, because every week we come to the mansion, there's another cat.
There's another cat. My wife, she got hooked up with these crazies, animal rescue people, and they tell her, it's like a cult. They tell you how great it is to have a plethora and an overabundance of animals, and then she buys into it, but they all have them. They all have like 50 animals.
But it's not going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights.
No, yeah,
you don't
she
need
thinks
two
it is.
of everything.
No.
And the last thing you need is 14 cats to survive it.
I know, and I'm allergic. I have to
This
get on a
is-
Zyrtec.
I know. This is what
I don't get the cat.
I don't
How many animals you guys have?
we're down to one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One dog. We had 3.
Oh, wow.
And then a little, but we keep them till they're dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, but he's 13. But I'm a fish guy.
Really?
I love. It's just so relaxing.
I agree.
And then I get snails, because there's nothing more relaxing than watching snails move slow.
Yeah.
And then the hungry fish eat the snails.
That's so morbid.
It's
great.
For $10 I get 10 snails. I watch them and she goes, "That's ridiculous."
But then
I
she's
get
watching the pimple pop.
But then I get the pimple popper. I don't get the pimple popper.
One day I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw somebody posted like a clip of that.
Some of that stuff's the most disgusting crap I've ever seen.
I was scrolling, and before they even did anything, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna watch this." I got to the part where they didn't even touch the body yet, and I said, "I'm gonna throw up. I gotta get
it's
this
not even
off."
the point of being like literally watching it, and you turn your head a little bit, like if it's actually in the room with you.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't even see it on screen.
I couldn't imagine being in the room with it.
I've broken bones. I've broken people's bones. Dare I say, seen enough blood in my
Shed
lifetime.
enough blood.
Shed enough blood and shed enough of other people's blood and done some crazy stuff. That pimple popper thing makes me sick to my stomach.
The only thing that comes close to that with broken bones is the Sid Vicious break, because that's pretty bad.
Who the hell walks into a doctor's office with a lump on their back they've had for 10 years and goes, "Is this a thing?"
Yeah.
What the French toast? What is that?
I know. Oh, I thought I had a hunchback.
I thought it would go away. I've been rubbing alcohol on it for 10 years. Nothing's happened. That's
crazy.
not a goiter. That's a godchild.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're giving birth out the back.
And then the doctor goes, oh, and all of a sudden.
Then you got the slime
No,
from the High C character.
Oh, Jesus Christmas. I'm going to be
See, this is what happens whenever Jimmy doesn't come. We end up getting it roped up into stuff like this. He just likes talking about wrestling and magic in La Bamba, which we don't really like talking about.
Because now we're stuck in. So here's the thing I want to know. Let's catch up to current events here. Right, we're catching up. We talked about it off. Schools are shutting down. They're doing online for this Cuernavaca thing that we broke here first. Magic through wrestling. Go back how many episodes? We broke the Cuernavaca virus first.
That's true.
Explain to me this. Here's the only thing I want to know. Everything else to me is a bunch of crap. Everybody listening, I think it's a bunch of crap. It's the flu. Get over yourselves. Everybody man up. Drink your orange juice and let's get back to work. But here's the thing. What's with the toilet paper?
I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, I do. Today somebody
Why's all the toilet paper gone?
Today somebody sent me an email and said, "Hey, I see that all the Florida public universities are shutting down. Do you need some toilet paper?" And so when somebody else has said, "Well, that's a weird thing to ask," And he said, no, don't you know? Like, people are buying up all the hand sanitizer and toilet paper.
Why
He
the
said,
toilet paper?
why get the hand sanitizer? Why the toilet? I don't know. I found this out today for the first time. There's like going to be a shortage.
Casey came home with like 12-pack or whatever it is. She goes, I figured I'd get it. It was the only one on the shelf.
Wow.
What are you talking about? She was what's the toilet paper? So I go on and go, why is everybody buying up toilet paper?
Yeah, I don't get that one. I could see like
I'm dumbfounded. I don't know why that is.
When I got the email, I kind of laughed because I didn't know what it meant. So I just kind of did the stupid
I'm
laugh.
afraid to
like,
ask.
Yeah, maybe the corn vodka gives you something you don't want.
Is it because you know how people, when there's no toilet seat covers, people put.
Oh.
That can't be it.
No, because they're at home with that. They get quarantined.
That's what I'm saying. You're in your own house. And so I don't understand where all the toilet paper's going.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I could see if it was like get canned goods or something.
Not tissues.
Yeah.
You get the fluid tissues, runny nose.
Yeah.
Not tissues. All the toilet paper.
NyQuil, even, I could see.
Why all the toilet paper? Hey, anybody out there, I want to know the reason.
Yeah, I need to know the reason why I got that email today.
I need to know about that. That's I don't understand it. So.
All right, so a couple weeks ago we talked about this whenever we broke it, and we talked about it again. But it's so topical; it keeps coming up. And now tomorrow, Thursday, what is tomorrow's date? The 12th. I think tomorrow's the 12th.
Yeah.
They're going to announce if Mania's going to get canceled or not.
Yeah, well, I think that's the biggest. You were saying what March Madness? They're going to play the empty arenas. They canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah, E3, which I'm not a gamer, but I know I know a lot of gamers, and that's like their WrestleMania event. You know, it's like where they unveil all these games. It's a big convention for gamers. They closed that down. They canceled it. They even postponed it.
I mean, I don't know. As of right now, I think that WWE has said they're going on with it until they're told.
They have to be told they can't.
They have to be told they can't.
They're not making that call.
They're not going to make the call. But, you know, it goes along with all these, and I think we talked about, you know, these international fans. I mean, it's going to be a low attendance, I think, no matter what.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a low attendance.
But, well, Italy can't even get out.
I mean,
China can't get out.
And look at all the Asian fans and everything that WWE has.
It's huge globally.
And going through London, you know, they're watching everything as well. So, I mean, I really don't know how it's going to affect. And then look at how it's going to affect all the Ring of Honors and all those people everybody who comes and puts shows around Tampa for that whole week.
Every indie show comes out.
Everything wrestling, yeah. And then everything's going to be canceled. It's a lot of. I just don't know. I can't see all the revenue. That's. Oh yeah, what's happening?
I mean, they would lose over $1 billion.
Oh my gosh.
All the businesses with food and restaurants.
March Madness alone, all the money that's there, and so I did listen to, and I want to get into them real quick because we do plug guys from time to time. Going off your thing with WrestleMania, I was listening to Busted Open Radio.
You love those guys. I love them too. They're great.
Because it's Bully Ray and those guys that I grew up with in the business, and they just, I love their perspective on wrestling. But he was saying, he says, well, let me just throw this out there. He goes, Dubai. WWE might be the only place to go and turn around and go, okay, Saudi Arabia is where WrestleMania is going to be.
They would take it in a second.
And put on a hell of a show.
And they talked about doing, like, not really, but the dirt sheets and stuff talked about, like, what if they buy WrestleMania from Vince and then they start having it in Saudi Arabia? Like, that was a real thought. We could see that. That's a potential.
But, you know, just to fathom, and you heard LeBron James go, I am not playing to an empty arena.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of the guys say, we play for the fans. We play for, if there's no fans, what are we playing for? And you don't play, I don't know, you just don't play because you're scheduled to play. I don't know, maybe that's just but March Madness being canceled and all these other things. And
well, the Warriors are going to be facing the Brooklyn Nets in an empty
arena.
March Madness, you see the college kids were rioting. They had to get a riot squad out there. I mean, it's not good.
No, it's going to be a lot of crap.
The problem is the media has blown up so many things that it's hard to believe this is the one. You know what I mean?
But my whole thing is, where do you go? your people are so overly, and I preface this with, let's really truly hope that this is not what
Yeah.
they think it's going to be. First of all, in Florida, this week it gets 90 degrees and all bugs are killed.
Yeah.
So even the flu doesn't last long in Florida.
True.
So as the heat picks up, but they're frightening everybody. All the public's all. But where are they going? So you're taking away events, you're taking away school, you're taking away this. So they're going to be standing around the streets together. They're going to be standing 42 people in each house, and they're going to be in parks, and they're going to be in malls and all this stuff. Where you're going to say to the economic future of the whole country, we're shutting everything down until we have more toilet paper and no one sneezes.
Yeah, and we redo the hand sanitizer.
Because otherwise, for me, I'm looking at going, what stocks can I buy right now?
Yeah, everything is so low.
Yeah.
And if WWE, I want to buy WWE stock if they have to cancel Mania because it'd be the cheapest you could ever possibly get it again. I think it's crazy. Like, my wife works for one of the biggest universities in America, and she's in a high position.
Yeah.
And she, being at the executive level, gets all this crazy stuff from parents like, when are you going to shut down? Why aren't you shutting down? Which now they are, but this was over like 2 weeks ago.
Right, because it first happened.
And, it's hard to preemptively make such a brash decision whenever it's there. But, like, if you just wash your hands and are smart, you should be fine. It's, the elderly, the autoimmune.
I don't make light of it. It's the flu. There's more people who have died from the flu than this coronavirus.
Right. I actually saw on, I think it was KDKA News. It's a Pittsburgh news station. So I tend to, if I see a story this outlandish, if it's not from a news station, I'll buy in a little bit. And they were trying to find, not the news, but the article they had, they were trying to find people for $4,500 who would get injected with the coronavirus so they could do studies.
Right.
Oh, sign me up. $4,500, you give me the flu? I'll take it all day. But I couldn't really I couldn't dig deep enough to find who was putting this on, but apparently it's legit. Not that I want anybody to go do that, but I would have for $4,500.
And then, the other side of it is they have to stop. I'm trying to figure out how they put it. They're saying there's so much attention being brought to the coronavirus that all the patients that need actual care aren't getting it because they're jumping on all these other cases. So they're blowing this corona thing up so bad that you got legitimate cancer patients and older folks with respiratory problems and heart problems and all these things that need the care aren't getting it because everybody's scattered all over the place, running around worried about this damn thing.
Yep.
And then 2 months from now, it'll when everything crashes and families are affected and communities are affected and businesses are affected, they'll go, okay, we're okay again. And as your president, I'll make sure we never have corn vodka again.
Exactly.
And we'll go, who cares?
But then half the people will be like, oh, yeah.
Right, yeah. You saved us. Yeah.
You know something weird? What was today? Friday of last week. My grandma was at the hospital. She got diagnosed with the flu. She's 66, I think. And my first thought was like, Pennsylvania doesn't have that many cases, but like, if you got the flu and you're elderly, you're screwed. But it was so funny because I was talking to her and I said, what kind of science experiments did they put you under? What did they test? What did they do to figure out if you had the corona? She said, nothing. I was like, really? They didn't even test you for it? She goes, no. So some places aren't going to.
Yeah, because you have to have the symptoms, whatever they are, and it's all these other things. And some people are just bum rushing and saying you got it. And, But so the picture was, I don't know if it was a meme or if it was actual a real life picture where Stallone was shopping and he had gloves on. He wouldn't touch anything in the store. I thought it was great. I thought so. Somebody, if Stallone's wearing gloves, I'm in. That was the meme on it. I was like, okay.
And you know what? Jimmy tried to get me to go to Access with him this year, which, he's the autograph guy. Right. I'm not really an autograph guy. I don't know. It's never really been my thing. Like, I love meeting famous people, especially wrestlers. And I get that's the area to fanboy out, like, not while they're trying to eat. I don't know. To me, I would rather see them in the street and be like, hey, you're this person.
Yeah.
Very cool. Can I get a picture if that's okay?
Yeah.
But I've never been one to go to things like that.
Have you been to Access?
No. Not even last time.
You get caught up in it, man. So That's the way I like Access though, because that's the place to get caught up in it.
Yeah, and he almost convinced me.
Yeah.
But we said, well, I said I'll just go with your girl. I'll stay back with my wife in Tampa. We'll hang out for the day. We'll kind of do our own thing,
Right.
and then I'll catch back up with you for Mania the next night or whatever the schedule is. I'm glad I'm not going though. Did you hear? Even if they do go on, they're not going to let you touch them. They're not going to let you.
There's no pounding it. There's no elbow.
Nothing.
No.
And right now, I'm seeing a lot of people like. There's this thing that I'm seeing where people have stickers that classify if you can touch them or not. Right now the popular thing is like if you have like a Vulcan sign, like sticker, like from Star Trek, like that means don't touch me. But some people have like a fist bump sign, which means like I'm cool with that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like a thing.
A thing in society?
Yeah, in like some places I'm seeing it. Yeah. There's some like pretty big people in like the tech world and stuff who were coming down here for conventions, and that was the only way they were willing to do it. In the film world, I know too, there were some film people that came down and some music people, and there's a big convention for them, and a lot of them pulled out, and then they brought up this idea, hey, we'll do this thing with stickers, but it doesn't really work because I was there, and I put on the Star Trek one, and there were still people coming up and like high five.
Well, I saw
hugging me.
What could be one of the most ridiculous things. A guy came. I'm not going to say where it was. A guy came out of the building wearing a mask, which clearly either he's sick or he doesn't want to be sick. But he was shaking hands and hugging everybody he got in the path with. And I stood in the corner and I'm watching this thing going, what is wrong with this picture? This guy clearly is sick or doesn't want to get sick, but he's touching and hugging everyone he meets.
Yeah, he's completely contradicting the whole idea.
So I'm sitting there going, is this me or is this and people are going to make their own decisions. People have decided, they don't want to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They're going to decide, I'm not doing Access and being with all those people getting sick.
I wouldn't do it.
What can you say? Because now wrestlers nowadays, sports entertainers nowadays, have so many more, I don't know what the word is, rights or privileges or things they can say, and you really can't say anything against it. What do you do if Randy Orton says, I'm not sitting out there and letting all those people breathe on me?
Yeah, what would you do on that? I mean, you can't say we got to.
What do you do if Taker says, I'm not letting people touch me?
I know they talk about putting up like a guardrail so you can get a picture.
Well, there is
3 feet in front
guardrail,
of
but people want to be right there. You're paying. My God, you're paying $100 a person, not $100 for the day. You're paying to get into Access, and then for take a picture with you is $100, and then get online and take a picture with me is another $100, and all these things you're paying a ridiculous amount, and then you're gonna have people who are gonna go, listen, that's not my thing right now.
Yeah.
Press junkets are gonna be out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
I mean, because the last thing to do is pay $100 to get a picture with you, and you're 4 feet behind me behind a fence.
Right, because we could do that at Walmart.
I don't need to be hugging all over you, but like, let's get shoulder to shoulder,
right.
like something.
Let me stand next to you.
Otherwise, it looks like a Photoshop.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that where you were at an autograph signing and you were kind of paranoid? Because you're like, man, I'm going to be shaking hands with 400 or 500 people. Somebody's going to put me up.
No, after a while, I would stay seated. Because they're up, down, up, down. If you were you stay standing. But once you sit, come down and take a picture with me or something like that.
Okay.
Or I'd let the kids put me in headlocks or
that's cool.
Something to, But no, I was never worried about anything. But I'm watching you. If you're like 4 people back and you go, and then you go, Mr. DeMott, I'm going to go, here's your autograph. Way over there. I already signed it.
Now, is it still topical to you? Because you got appearances coming up. Are you worried?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not, I'm going to jinx myself. Bill I get sick once a year. It's probably the worst 3 days of Lacey's life because, I don't get sick.
Yeah.
But you get you're human. I get the thing where I get a good cough or bronchitis thing for about 3 days. And buddy, when I go down, the first 24 hours, no one sees me in bed and the sweats, the whole thing. But as a rule, I don't really get sick. I don't really because I feel like I'm grown and I take my, the vitamins I take. It sounds funny, and I do take my vitamins, and
You know how to wash hands?
I do wash my hands and my face on occasion, and I know how to greet people properly without spitting in their eye when I say hello. And if you fart on somebody's pillow, you get pink eye. That's really how it goes.
There you go. And those are the rules to live by.
Those are the rules. You don't fart on my pillow, I don't get pink eye.
And then I don't need to go buy the world's surplus of toilet paper. And that's why.
So, the joke's on everybody else in the world because we use wipes. I just don't understand the toilet paper.
It's because people are farting on other people's pillows.
Hey, that's how you get pink eye. I told my boy that's it. So what's
it's got to be true.
He goes in his sister's room and farts on a pillow.
That's amazing. Oh, I can't wait to have kids. It's going to be great.
And sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it's humor.
I just say sometimes it's got to be fun.
Sometimes it's like corn vodka. Come in the other room and don't come near me.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's crazy right now. The whole thing is, I think it's mostly blown up out of proportion.
I mean, it takes everything away from. Look at us, because usually we're sitting here, we talk wrestling and a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, it's just taken out of our...
But it's just everything you turn to now is this stuff, and it's so funny to watch. And if you're one of those people who conspiracy theorists, which there are a lot of now they're going, oh, it's this, and gas is going down, and oh, people are going to lose their jobs, and unemployment's going up, and all of a sudden.
I hear that all the time.
So we hear it anyway, but now there's a reason for people. There was nothing. There was no war going on. There was nothing going on.
Something has to be going on.
We need a virus. War makes money.
Right.
War makes money in this country. We make our money off of war, selling armor and all these other, however it works. We make a ton of money during war.
Right.
There's nothing going on. We need something. And unfortunately, I believe we're just a society that needs something going on. I don't. I just need my hammock and smooth jazz and a cigar and listening to my pool.
There you go. It's kind of like we're the society of like the grumpy friend you have who like always has to be complaining about something, and you're like, dude, can you just chill for 5 seconds? Because it's every time.
Yeah. It's the guy who has all those leaves in his yard every year. Cut down the tree. He cuts the tree down. Oh, my grass is burning up. There's no shade. Put AstroTurf in there.
There you go.
I don't know what it is.
That's amazing.
Here's the biggest question. This is the other thing we should be focused on. With the Houston Astros completely screwing over the game of baseball.
Yeah.
When does Pete Rose go into the Hall of Fame?
He should have been retroactively put in as of the second.
And they should pay him a lot of
money. Did you ever meet Pete Rose?
Yes, I have.
That's awesome. How was he? Was he a trip?
I thought it was great. We met him. Lacey and I met him. We were shooting Tough Enough. What was the year where Pete Rose inducted Kane, or Kane inducted Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's the celebrity wing.
Yeah.
Kane inducted Pete Rose.
Yeah, so that year, and we were at the Universal Studios shooting some stuff with Pete Rose and Kane and all that stuff. So we got a chance to meet Charlie Hustle. But that was pretty cool. But
that's awesome.
That's the way I look at it. I was watching Houston.
So it's 2012.
Yeah. Wow. So I look at it. Okay, so Pete Rose should be back in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm a big baseball fan. I know you're a big baseball fan, and it's so hard to even watch right now. I try not to let it ruin the game, but in some ways, I've never been an Astros fan. I was rooting for the Yankees that year, that they won in 2017, but I didn't really have a big of a problem with it. I never went out and watch games. Now this year, every year I get the league pass or whatever.
Right.
You watch every game.
Right.
And now instead of watching like the Giants or the Pirates, I go to those games just so I can hear people chirping at them. And I'm like, this isn't why I should be watching baseball.
Yeah. But then you hear one of the gentle giants of the game is Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge come out vocally and said he cost me MVP.
Which there's money, you
and
get
so
more money.
There's money involved. There's those things in your contract that are involved. There's your legacies involved. All these things that build your reputation. You're bartering. For this. Well, if I was MVP, I could be bartering for a bigger contract.
Yeah.
So it all goes down, and to me, especially with my boy playing the game, that's not what I want him learning about the game. It's not what the game's about. So we cut out all that stuff, and we come right here to UCF, and we go watch them play ball, and he that's where he gets the kick out of it. And,
that's awesome.
And watches the game because so far it hasn't trickled down to the college level. But I can't wait for that season to start. I'm a fan. I'm a Yankee fan, but it took. And they're going to talk about it. They're still going to talk about it during the regular season.
Oh, yeah.
And you finally want to go, shut the hell up. Like, here's the thing. Sign Dak Prescott or don't sign him. Let the Houston Astros go. Tom Brady pick a team. And let's just watch sports for the sake of watching sports. Otherwise, XFL is going to be the hottest thing on TV.
I know. And with the, did you see the beer cup snake thing that they do? It's genius. Yeah,
it's not a bad product.
I never had a problem with steroids in sports on an individual level. It's like, if you're using them, well, I guess everybody in baseball, everybody could have used them. Everybody, could have made that decision. And you're being in 300 yards every time you're getting home runs. It's like, but that affected you individually. Yeah, it kind of affected the pitcher on his stats. But at the end of the day, like, to me, it was more of an individual thing where whenever somebody got busted for that, 50 games, a whole year off.
Right.
Like, come on, that's a bit harsh. Just slap him on the wrist. Don't let him do it. Tell him don't do it again.
But here's the other side to it. As I guess a quote unquote former athlete.
Not quote unquote. You're former.
Here's
current athlete.
You are a former athlete.
That was so bad.
The other side of it is, you tell me if you took steroids, you could hit 400-foot home runs.
That's true. Not necessarily.
Right. The work is being put in. Listen, I'm not advocating for this.
Sure, no,
This argument's gone on for years and years.
Yeah, we don't need to add to it. But
I'm not advocating for anything. All I'm saying is the work was still put in.
Yeah.
Bobby Bonds or Mark McGwire was still a hell of a baseball player.
Sammy
Him
Sosa.
and Sammy Sosa brought the sport back to the top of its game. And just because they were taking something or doing something that somebody else wasn't, didn't make them a better baseball player. It's the time they put in on it. So even, weightlifters and all these other things, like, you're benching 1,000 pounds, dude. It's a freak thing. Why do you need to do that? I don't know what kind of money you make with it.
But there's no magic pill.
But there's nothing. Listen, I could take the same stuff that guy took, and I ain't benching 1,000 pounds.
That's it. That's 100% it. But whenever you have the other team's play signal or the plays, that's a whole different world.
Now,
and that's where
especially because I know what I can hit and can't hit.
Yeah.
So I know where to lay off and where to swing away and where to put the hit and run on and all those things.
And I think it's a crime that they look at steroids like bigger than something like that,
right? Which
completely changed the whole scope of the game. So
Deflategate. The same thing with the football that year. That changed the game.
Spygate with the Patriots back in 01 with the Jets.
All these things, let's talk about it quick and move on. Those had bigger effects on the game than a couple cc's of testosterone.
That's it. I know. And that's the stuff that drives me crazy, and that's the stuff they try to put under the rug. Like me, I'm a diehard Steelers fan. I hate the Patriots. It's in my blood to hate the Patriots. And it just drives me crazy. Deflategate, it came down kind of hard, but then it's like, look at what they did this past off season where they're yanking their play signals with the film guy.
Right.
I'm a film guy. I know what I can and cannot film. And that's from a lot lower organizations that tell me than I've never worked for the Patriots,
right.
But I've worked for some low level guys who put it pretty straight.
Every year they have some kind of allegation. Every year. And
then it's like, well, there's the asterisk on
right.
your legacy.
Right.
Because it's not that you didn't bend the rules. You dynamite the rules,
Yeah, Pete Rose bet on the game.
And he didn't bet on him. He didn't bet on himself throwing it either, like the Black Sox.
Right.
Or
so the Astros cheated and won. He just bet on the game. And
the commissioner goes, "Well, it's hard to ding people for a piece of metal."
Yeah.
That.
I get nothing.
But then you got Vince McMahon, who just says, "Well, they're championships. They're not title belt." He disregards the belt.
I think. Cheat, you're not trying. Yeah. There'll be belts again.
How do you feel about do you feel about the championship belts as props, or do you feel about them as this is a prestigious?
No, I don't think they're prestigious anymore.
But were they at one time? Obviously now, because they changed hands after a day.
You wanted. I mean, I don't know how many. I'm not there. I'm not in the back, but I don't know how many guys actually want to be champion. for a bunch of different reasons. One, because it really doesn't mean as much, or at least it doesn't appear to mean as much. And then two, nobody wants to keep that schedule. They want the money.
Yeah.
And if you're making high six figures and without being a champion, what do I care if I'm a champion for? But there's some guys who have played the game and hold that in regard, in regard. And I think back then it meant a lot more, than it does now. And that's just an opinion.
And I think the thing, and just correct me if I'm wrong, I think the thing that's completely killed it is how many times they just change hands so willy-nilly. You got Bruno Sammartino, who's had the title for over 2,000 days. I mean...
And when it happened, it was the biggest thing since Hiroshima.
Yeah, it was. It was
now they
massive.
talk about, you talk about Bailey's had the championship now, and Keri
Charlotte, look how many times she's lost it.
And they're talking about all these things, how long they're holding it. So what? It just doesn't mean as much, because once you take it off of them, then they're nothing without it.
That's true.
They're nothing without it, so they need that.
That's true. I mean, people would argue Bruno didn't have nearly the claim he had after losing the title.
Sasha Banks would win the title and lose it the next night.
Yep.
Where is Sasha Banks?
She ain't doing much.
You don't hear her name that much. You don't see her.
She's not billed at the top of Mania. I think she's got a match,
but so it's. I think the titles meant more years ago. I think now they're just, there's got to be a champion.
Yeah.
I think it was smart when they made Jericho the champion of AEW because it meant something, and then to have Moxley is the next guy to hold it. I think is smart.
Do you like that? A lot of fans were kind of against it.
No, I think it's. So let me ask you this. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of that conversation, but who are you going to put it on?
Yeah, I mean, well, the people were saying, and I kind of agreed until I knew more about the story, was Jericho needed it longer, but he's got his Fozzy tour coming up, so he's not going to be there.
Right.
And the last people in AEW are going to riot if they have a Lesnar situation, because that's what WWE fans hate.
Right.
Is that he's there for 2 days a year with the title. So you couldn't do that.
And you don't give it to an office guy.
No.
So you can't have Cody or Omega, and that's why the Bucks aren't holding the straps. You can't let the people know who the office guys are and then be the champions. Because that's the booker who's the champ.
And you can't go from a heel champ to a heel champ. That doesn't work.
So it's
So Moxley was their hottest face.
I think
that would have been my choice. Yeah. I just wish he would have had it longer.
Yeah, who else are you going to give it to?
There is really nobody else. I mean, you can't go to MJF because he's a heel.
No, and he's
not ready.
No, I don't think so.
No.
So I see the stuff they're doing. I like it. I like wrestling as a whole right now. I think there's a lot of, and we talk about it. There's just so much. I just like to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't like to listen to the crap that comes with it. And social media is just that downfall of, well, this girl sucks and that guy sucks and this girl did this and that guy did that. And did you like what they did?
Yeah.
It's critiquing and criticizing. If I'm watching to go, oh, that was the wrong foot, then I don't need to be watching wrestling.
Right.
It's like a football player watching the whole game and tearing apart the offensive tackle because he's not doing it right. Just watch the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, go watch it by yourself and do that.
There you go.
Do that stuff by yourself. But I like what's going on with wrestling. I don't feel the Mania season as much as I used to. I'm not sure why. I think it's just because of makeshift stuff. I'm not feeling Taker, AJ Styles. Nothing against either one by any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling Cena against
The Fiend.
I'm nothing against either one. Cena's a legend. Bray Wyatt's just phenomenal. The only one I'm not feeling anything with the ladies this year.
No.
I think the girls are really. I think they plateaued a little bit. I think as an individual, I think Becky's doing okay. But as far as a grouping of women, I just don't see it. The only thing that's got legs to me is Orton Edge.
It's the only thing. It's funny you say it. I'm not saying to agree with you. I agree. it's the only thing I'm remotely looking forward to because it's the only thing that has any semblance of a real story.
And I wish he wouldn't have came out like that.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. Some people listening and reading some of the stuff this week, a lot of people went, well, old school mentality is the babyface has got to be strong going into Mania. He was strong, hurt.
Yeah.
It's Edge.
He didn't need to show any of his cards.
He didn't need to do anything.
Mm-mm.
And the fact that he can hit Orton now means he should be able to hit Orton again. You know, so it's sometimes I feel like we got to get away from what used to work, and if you got it, just ride it. But that's always the
thing I'm actually looking forward to the least, which is so sad to say, is AJ and Undertaker, and I think it sucks. And I thought it was so weird that AJ called him Mark Cal, like he referred to him by his name. I didn't get that.
Well, he called him by his name. He called him old, washed up, should have quit 15 years ago. So old school mentality. Maury, you shaved. You can't see with your glasses on. You've never wrestled a day in your life. All these things, you stopped because you hurt your back. You couldn't do it. All these things, and now you're in Florida. And then, so who am I when I beat you?
Exactly.
I'm already saying you're nothing. And then what happens if the guy who's nothing beats me?
Exactly.
So old school mentalities. He kind of, which I thought he had a great promo. I thought the promo itself was really good. But this is where you read into it wrestling wise and go, man, but you just tore him down so much. Granted, the Undertaker should be able to stand on his own. But why would you tear him down so much?
Yeah. I remember whenever I was training and I had my first little opening dark match kind of thing, even though there weren't cameras, at a local indie show, as people were coming in, all maybe 75 people were pouring in, and I'm hoping that somebody's watching me, and they thought I did a good job. So the next night they said, the next show they say, hey, you can cut a promo, right? And I said, oh yeah, I learned how to do that. I can cut a good promo. And I remember I went out and cut a promo on this guy I was facing, and we talked it out, and I got his whole story, and I went back and I was so proud of it. And then at the after party that night, oh yeah, that's the new little cat that my wife got roped in.
That's the one that pisses everybody off? No, that's not the one.
No, it's the one that runs around and gets into stuff with the purple collar. But I remember I was so proud at the after party. One of the promoters was there, and he said, man, he goes, you do not know the art very well of promos. He's like, yeah, you can cut good in front of a live crowd. You didn't look nervous, and you're pretty confident what you said. Problem is, you're going to lose to him because you're new and he's not, and you destroyed him, so there's no coming up for you whenever he beats you, because if you knock somebody into a pile of dust and then they beat you, how could you ever come back from that? You should just quit. And I'm thinking, oh my god, this is terrible, And, you live and you learn, but that's what you learn when you're training.
That's the learning curve. And like I said, I thought he did a great promo.
Yeah, he's awesome.
The way he delivered it was an awesome promo, but then you look at it and go, oh man. So it's
Have you ever cut a promo on somebody and you're like, man, I buried him a little too hard on that? And
no, I was never the most speaking I ever did wrestling wise was in that humorous Misfits thing going into that.
And that was awesome promos in that.
Yeah, they were just kind of simple to the fact. I never did. My thing was I didn't want to speak to my opponents. Back when I started, you were still allowed to speak to the audience. So my whole thing was I just need to jazz up this lady in the front row. Okay. So she could stir the pot. So it'd be that silent ging, 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 and then walk over and go say one more word, you little old lady, and I'm not. And but that was my thing all through my career. We did it one night in Miami. Okay. And I was working with Rikishi.
Oh, wow.
And what was the Japanese kid's name?
Funaki?
Nope. The ECW kid. Tajiri. So it's Tajiri and Rikishi against, I want to say it was me and Rhino or something.
So this was 02 or later on?
Yeah. 02. So we're in Miami. And in Miami, Dwayne's there. Dwayne's in the back. Rock's in the back. and working there. So every Samoan in existence is in Miami.
Right.
So boom, 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 out goes Tajiri, and I'm working on Rikishi, and I got him by the hair, and I'm pounding on him, and he's going, oh my God, because I'm smacking him right in the cheeks, because I love the sound of his cheeks hitting. And I says, you ready? And he goes, what are you gonna do? And I go, I'm gonna piss someone off. And boom, 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 and I hit him, and he goes down, and I turn around, I just focused in on this one guy. And I just stared at him. I took my straps off. I'm say a word. Say a word. And he started yelling. I turned around and beat Rikishi. Took him to his knees. And I took the other strap off. Rikishi went down. And I said, say it again. And now I'm looking at him. Now he's getting all frazzled. And now there's like 3 more guys. And they're going, shut up, shut up. And he's going, shut up. And now he's yelling at me.
Oh, now he's getting...
And now I grab Rikishi, bring him over, and I cross-face him in front of the thing. I said, open your mouth one more freaking time. And I threw Rikishi out. And I went to go get him. I said, say it again. And the whole side of the arena stood up.
Wow.
It was like a death stomp. It was like, rump. And they all stood up. And the security guy goes, you're screwed.
That's amazing.
Kishi's on the floor crying. I'm like, it's time to come back, brother. Let's come back, brother. And then you bring me in the ring, go through the place till I'm glued. But that was the only time I ever got worried about what I said. But I just worked the guy. I like to work people up. Arn Anderson told me, if you can, he said, who cares if the girl's looking at you? He goes, make the guy take his arm out from around his girlfriend, put down his beer and his popcorn, and call you a no good, dirty bastard. That's when you have their attention.
That's awesome.
I always try to remember that. So I wasn't playing to the girls and the little kids who go, ooh-ah. It was the guy who was there because he had to be there and he wanted to be, and now he's involved. So
that's awesome.
Arn told me that, and I kind of use that in life too, you know?
Yeah.
You get the person that you least expect, or the one that doesn't want to be there, you get them involved, you have the whole audience.
That's awesome. You do so much speaking that's got to still
It's
resonate.
so funny. It's not find people, picture people naked. It's get that guy to put his beard down and listen to you, and then you got him. I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
So that was a long answer for a promo.
No, that was really good. I think fans would be really excited to hear something like
But
it.
the other thing is, the lessons that older guys have learned once we're out of the business. Oh my gosh, all the stuff I know now, if I would have implemented into my career, I'd have been a quadbillionaire. I'd have been like, oh, I would have done things so much differently. But that's the beauty of going through it, evolving into a coach, into a producer, into all these things, and watching it into the trainer and into the system. And then you get to look back and tell these guys, don't do that because look, when I did it, it sucked. It didn't work. Do it this way. It works, So, I digress.
No, that was a really awesome answer. All right, so, Bill, we're about out of time.
Unbelievable. How smooth.
Do you like that segue? See, Jimmy does good segues because he does the $1,000,000-an-hour promo for himself.
Just 2 cats.
The $29.99.
Just 2 cats.
If you guys, what I would love to do is Jimmy Rook. If anybody wants to question him for us personally, because he might have like one of those restraining orders out on us because we didn't watch La Bamba. And
I'll give his number out right now. Everybody put
better yet, for $29.99 they can go and physically heckle him at a show.
Pay the $30 and heckle him, or call him. Here's his number: 867-5309.
I think that's Jenny's number, but
who are we talking about?
We're talking about Jimmy, not Jenny.
I don't know his number.
I don't know his number. He doesn't ever answer anyway.
I had Jenny's number.
You have Jenny's number.
Jeez, I knew we were talking about somebody.
That's a good song though. But yeah, go see him at Wonderworks here in Orlando.
Hey, I got news for you. If he's not doing this show and he's doing that magic show over there,
I'll be so mad.
We got problems.
Because he's a good magician, but he's good at podcasting and he should be here. He might be on the run from that guy who wants the filming done from us.
That's jabroni. What is his name? Do you have a name on that guy?
You know what? I put him as Jimmy's friend.
Jimmy's friend.
Don't answer. That's what I have him as my phone. So the one time I did answer, I didn't know what to call him, and he didn't properly introduce himself. They said, "Oh, Maury, nice to meet you." And he just goes, "Nice to meet you." But he didn't tell me who he was.
Oh yeah, this is all.
And Jimmy just refers to him as like a guy I know.
Jimmy's not sick. Jimmy's ducking.
He's ducking him.
This is the episode in Seinfeld where Jimmy talks about himself in the third person.
Yeah.
Jimmy's getting angry.
Yeah. Jimmy's not going to the Magic the Wrestling.
Jimmy's not feeling good.
Well, he invited this jabron to my house. I don't think he gave me the address, but I got a message last night with this guy asking if we were filming last night.
Oh, for the love.
But we don't record on Mondays. We record on Wednesdays.
Oh my God! You gotta give
But
me a heads up because if he's here, I come here. He's here.
If he's here, I'm on the run with Jimmy. We're both going to go to wherever he's hiding out at, whatever bunker he's in. Yep.
All right,
Jimmy is a...
So this is... Whatever episode this is, this one's smooth.
We should watch Lumbamba and talk about it on episode that he's not here.
I've seen it because I'm a music guy. Like, I like the legends. I like the whole thing. He's in a phone book, crying to his girlfriend on the phone, singing the phone. He's half a sissy.
Okay. Well,
17 years old, afraid of flying. Got nothing to do with Jimmy Rook. He's Italian. He still don't understand olives from the last one. So what is he worried about La Bamba for? You want to talk about, what's his name, Lou Diamond Phillips? Let's talk about Young Guns. That's what we'll talk about, Young Guns. He was a better character in Young Guns as the Indian than as La Bamba, who died at 17.
Jimmy's a little touched in the head, let me tell you.
Buddy Holly or Richie Valens.
Buddy Holly. Yeah, it's not even a question.
I'm looking at him like I'm yelling at him. He's not even here.
That's why I was so confused. Why they do a story not on Buddy Holly?
Oh, they did the Buddy Holly story. It was great.
I mean,
Gary Busey was the best Buddy Holly.
I love Busey. I love that. But I'm just saying, why is there more? Like, you hear more about this Lumbamba thing.
No, you only hear because you hang out with this hoot nanny.
Well, I'm not hanging out with him now. He's on the run.
He's got his mother believing that story. The La Bamba. She shares the story.
Oh, jeez.
Well, maybe we could call Jimmy's mom and see if he can come out and play next week.
His mom's awesome. His mom's like super Italian. And at first she kind of cold shouldered me. And I told her how Italian I was. And now she loves me.
Oh, my gosh.
He says it's not true, but it was the day that we moved.
She's the best.
I love her. She's great.
She's outspoken.
That's her thing. She's very outspoken.
Outspoken. Makes me cringe.
I get scared. I was scared of her because she was like barking orders when we were moving him into his new castle, and I was like one of the only people who were actually like actively running around. And then I said, "Hey, lady, I'm Italian," and she goes, "Familia," and then we became good.
And then, okay, so next week, everybody. So we have a lot of which is our biggest view? Facebook, Twitter, or?
Pretty much. Okay, so you could find us on YouTube is big. Really, the biggest one is going to be Apple and Spotify.
I need three. We're ready for 3 questions next week.
Yeah, 3. We'll take 3 questions.
We'll take 3 questions.
3 questions. Try to make them as much about Jimmy and how disappointed you are as possible.
At least one has to be about the disappointment.
Yeah. So we know Edward Up the Grove. He's going to come through.
Oh, is he?
He always comes through with questions. That guy's great.
Up the Grove. Oh, yeah, he's great.
He's great.
He is good.
And then my buddy Pete over there at the Keyboard Warrior IRL on Twitter, he plugs us all the time. He's great on his show.
Yeah, they got to watch.
So, and then we're gonna start. Like, here's the thing: we haven't had a full thing here. We want to start getting back to Facebook Live. I want to start filming our show and then putting it up on YouTube. So we got a lot of stuff coming, guys. We're in the infancy of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only growing. Jimmy might not be here every time, but we're gonna.
He can't handle the pressure already. He's baking under the pressure.
He is.
He's not ready for. This is why he didn't win America's Got Talent.
That's right. He was literally shaking in his tube socks.
Yeah. He'll get over it.
He'll get over it. But check out the show. Follow us. Ask questions. Next week, if we have everybody here, or even if we don't have everybody here, we just need a third person to run our Facebook Live for us. So we're going to get on Facebook Live for, I say 5 minutes, but if there's a lot of people interacting, we want to interact with Bill, we'll stay on for 10 minutes of the show, give you the first 10 minutes. You know, we don't mind doing
Don't forget, get your toilet paper. Everybody stay safe.
All right. Yeah, because the Cuernavaca is coming, and it's here.
It's coming for you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag no show Jimmy.
Hashtag no show Jimmy.
Wait, we got to get the out.
Oh, you have an out? You have a sound out? Hashtag ham, everybody.
Hashtag ham.